Welcome to the Simple Sophisticate podcast, where intelligent living is paired with signature style. I'm your host, Shannon Ables, and whether you're listening on your commute, exercising, working in the garden, or sitting down with a hot cup of tea or a café au lait, thank you for tuning in. Let's get started. Welcome to the 267th episode of the Simple Sophisticate. Today we're going to talk about autumn in Paris. We're going to talk about timeless seasonal style. But before I get into today's episode, I want to apologize for this episode coming out about a day later than it was supposed to. I ran into some microphone problems and I'm still not sure what's wrong, so that's why I sound a little bit different, because I'm not using my microphone because somehow it's not feeding into my computer. I have troubleshot so many different things, I'm just not sure. Needless to say, the show goes on and we'll hopefully get back to that top quality that we're used to in the next week or so. So with that said, let's get into what we're talking about today. We're going to talk about a wardrobe for anyone who travels to Paris in autumn or fall and wants to look like a local as much as they can, but also be comfortable and have a versatile wardrobe without having to pack a ton of clothes. Now, of course, you know me, I don't pack extremely light, but I don't pack a ton of suitcases either. One suitcase for my clothes, even when I was there for a month, and another for all my shopping souvenirs and items that I bring home. But before I get into the list, this week's Petit Plaisir is a book that was published over 10 years ago, but I just started reading it recently, and it is a Francophile book, and I thought it paired perfectly with today's episode. So I'll share with you what that is at the end of today's episode. But now let's get into what to wear for timeless seasonal style, autumn in Paris. So I just want to kind of describe a visual to you. A stroll through the Jardin de Luxembourg, or one of the many other jardins located about Paris, as the many carefully groomed leafy trees turn orange, red, and brilliant gold, is a memory to savor for travelers who come from far and wide to visit the City of Light during the autumn season. Granted, most travelers wish to visit for many other reasons as well. They don't just come for the colors changing. There's so many amazingly beautiful other places to go for that. But it's still something that we want to make sure we're dressed properly for. We want to be comfortable, but we also want to fit in well so that we have the best experience in a city that we love as it goes about its everyday business and routines. Last month, you might remember, in October of 2019, I shared timeless seasonal style autumn in Britain, with the promise to share each season a capsule wardrobe to pack for both Britain and France. Today, specifically, Paris is our focus as I fulfill that promise for autumn in France, specifically Paris. To visit during autumn is for a select lucky few, and while I have only traveled abroad during this time of year once due to work constraints, I look forward in the future to more visits during this somewhat off-season. After all, from rain to chilly temperatures to stunningly beautiful fall days complete with cobbled streets sprinkled with leaves, Paris in the fall is all the more reason to slip into more cafes, more museums, more bistros, and just soak up Paris and Parisian life. Let's take a look at what to pack for a comfortable visit for day and evening in Paris. First one, number one, is to pack sweaters. Paris can be quite cold when the right combination of dropping temperatures and whistling winds sweeps through. So having warmth, yet stylish warmth, is a very good idea. Now, obviously, this is going to depend upon how long you visit, but I would pack 1 or 2 sweaters, and at least one of those, make it an oversized sweater. This is something you could pair with slim jeans or trousers, as well as over a skirt, and it's just cozy and yummy. So, number 2 is pack sweaters, ones that feel good on your skin, and work with at least 2 other items that you're packing. Now, of course, number 2 goes without saying, but we're going to make sure we put it on our list today. That would be scarves. So, just about every person you see in Paris, men and women, will be donning a scarf that is functional and subtly, or sometimes not so subtly, chic and perfectly paired with their outfit. Pack a wool or cashmere scarf for layering with your coat, as well as a large silk square scarves for wearing with your outfit after the coat has been removed. This one is always so much fun. And it's, this is a great item to shop for while you're in Paris too, to be honest. I always pick up scarves when I'm in Paris or in France in general, and I have not once regretted what I've brought home. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to pack opaque tights. Whether you prefer the classic opaque black tights or what the French call collant fantasy, hosiery, tights that have a bit of detail in them, having a pair of these tights to keep your legs warm when you still want to wear a skirt or a dress is a simple yet necessary detail to have packed in your suitcase, and it doesn't take up that much space. That's the beauty of it. So pack those opaque tights. I love wearing a dress that hits about knee length or even just above the knee, depending on your age and your style. And if it's a slim dress, those tights just finish the look and keep you warm. So it looks smart and it makes sense for the temperatures, and it looks great. So that's number 3. Number 4, what to wear on our feet. Well, ankle boots, as I shared for the Britain fall capsule wardrobe, are a wonderful bet. Now, you can wear these with pants, jeans, skirts, and dresses. They are really a go-to must-have for the fall season, and I recommend them for your capsule wardrobe at home, wherever you live as well. The height is up to you, but I always like about an inch or an inch and a half. 5 is to pack a leather or faux leather jacket. Layering is the approach to ensure you have what you need to stay warm, but also look pulled together. A leather jacket is a versatile item, pairing well for casual occasions as well as evening outings. Choose a color that works well with your wardrobe and skin tone, and don't feel you have to purchase a black jacket. Shades of brown or gray are a wonderful neutral choice depending upon what you will pair it with, and that plays into what your skin tone is that makes you look the most radiant. So keep your eye out for one that you love, that fits you well in the shoulders and hits right where you want on your waist. That's number 5. Number 6 is a knee-high or over-the-knee boot. Now, this is going to depend upon your style, but choose a boot shaft that is tall but slender. Over-the-knee boots are actually quite in vogue at the moment, and actually they've been worn by style icons for years. I think of Kate Moss back in the 90s and in the early aughts. And of course they wear them with aplomb because of their job and their instinct and their stylist probably as well. But you can get away with this too. With more and more price points available. If you have a nice slim skinny jean or a skirt that is knee or just above the knee length, consider having some fun with this over the knee style. However, maybe that's not for you. I'm still kind of dabbling in that. I don't know. I might or may not. Part of me thinks I'm too old for it, but at the same time, I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Don't go there. Don't buy into that. If it looks good in your body type, wear it and wear it with confidence. So don't buy into that. But knee-high boots are always going to be in style, and they work well for all ages and wardrobe. And if you're comfortable with a little bit of heel, knowing you will be walking about in that heel a bit more than usual, go ahead and buy a boot with a heel. But if not, buy them low and flat. In fact, I think the over the knees are best when they're flat. They're far more timeless. So that's number 6. Number 7 are skirts, day skirts that can transition well. Knee length or just below the knee skirts are frequently seen on the streets in Paris. And depending upon your body shape, you're going to want to choose a cut that flatters your figure, but it's also versatile enough to pair with a sweater or your leather jacket as well as a nice blouse. So again, keep in mind what works well and can pair with 2 or more items. And this is a skirt that you could potentially also wear with those opaque tights. All right, so I have 6 more items to share with you, but I would like to introduce you to the sponsors for today's episode. What is HelloFresh? With HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit, get easy seasonal recipes and pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your door. All you have to do is cook and enjoy. HelloFresh makes cooking delicious meals at home a reality, regardless of your comfort in the kitchen. Say goodbye to endless grocery store trips and takeout food. HelloFresh has you covered. Break out of your dinner rut with HelloFresh's 20-plus seasonal chef-curated recipes each week. And there's something for everyone, from family recipes to calorie-smart and vegetarian, as well as fun menu series like Hall of Fame and Craft Burgers. Add extra meals to your weekly order, as well as yummy add-ons like garlic bread and cookie dough. Oh, that sounds delicious! I have had the opportunity to receive a package of meals from HelloFresh, and these are so simple to make. They're delicious, they're well balanced, and they are extremely fresh ingredients. I can say that I tend to walk away learning something new about how to pull together a relish or to make a simple sauce. And so not only am I eating well on that day, but I'm also learning something for the future when I step back into the kitchen. Now, as a Simple Sophisticate listener, you have the opportunity to take $80 off your first month of HelloFresh. Simply go to hellofresh.com/sophisticate80 and enter sophisticate80 at checkout. Again, that's $80 off your first month of HelloFresh. Go to hellofresh.com/sophisticate80 and enter sophisticate80. It's like receiving 8 meals free. Why not? Give it a try. BetterHelp is online counseling that is there for you. Connect with your counselor in a safe and online private environment. If there is something that is interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, HelloFresh has a licensed professional counselor that specializes in what you're looking for. Specializations in depression, anger, grief, self-esteem, sleeping, relationships, LBGT matters, and trauma. Everything you share with your counselor is confidential. And if you're not happy with your counselor for any reason, you can request a new one at any time. Available worldwide, there are 4 communication modes available: text, chat, phone, or use video chat. And you can start communicating under 24 hours. Best of all, it's a truly affordable option, and as a Simple Sophisticate listener, you have the opportunity to receive 10% off your first month with the discount code of SIMPLE. So why not start today? Go to betterhelp.com/simple and enter the promo code SIMPLE to earn 10% off your first month. Again, that's betterhelp.com/simple and use the promo code SIMPLE at checkout. If you are someone who appreciates quality fashion but doesn't want to pay the full price, I have an app for you. ShopTagger is there to save you money and make sure you welcome into your closet what you truly love. ShopTagger is a must-have app for holiday shopping, especially Black Friday. It enables you to save items from 400,000 online stores to one place and get notified the moment they go on sale. It also scans the web for coupons at checkout and automatically applies them to your purchase. Now, I've shared this many times already on the blog and here on the podcast, but I regularly use ShopTagger. Now, I'm not shopping all the time, but as I'm creating posts and finding outfits or items for outfits of the week, I find items I love, but I don't necessarily want them then because the price is too steep, or I want to think about it for a bit. And so I save them on ShopTagger, and sure enough, a handful of different items that are in my closet now have been purchased at reduced prices because ShopTagger alerted me to the sale. I entered the promo code if that was necessary and got the size that I wanted to. That's the beauty of it. You can actually let them know how much you want the price to drop before they alert you, as well as let them know what size you want the item in. So you're not wasting your time. When those notifications come to you, your item is available at the price that you want. Now, as a Simple Sophisticate listener, you have the opportunity to be entered automatically into a $500 giveaway when you download the free app. There's a link on the show notes. Simply go to the show notes, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast267. Scroll to the bottom of that post. There is a link that when you click on it, it will take you to the app. It will upload it. It's a free app, and you then are automatically entered into this $500 giveaway, which will be announced on November 22nd. second. So be sure to stop by the blog. That's Shop Tagger, a must-have holiday shopping app, but also year-round shopping, saving money app as well. Welcome back. We have 6 more items to get to for that upcoming trip to Paris that you're going to go on, whether it's soon or in the distant future or just dreaming about it. This list is going to be there for you so that you pack what's going to work, what's going to make you feel comfortable, what's also going to keep you in style so that you are looking like someone who lives in Paris. And you do technically for a few days. Number 8, pack jeans and or pants. Whatever you feel most comfortable in and can dress up or down easily, pack 2 or 3. Jeans, pants, or a mixture. Dark denim if you choose jeans, and a color of pant that can be worn with at least 2 different tops that you have brought with you. I will always have jeans in my suitcase, so I'm just making sure that I have shoes and different tops that can pair with them. And as you know, jeans can be very easy to dress up or down. Pants can dress things up very nicely as well, so I'm starting to trend into that a little bit more. That's number 8. Number 9 is a trench coat and or a wool coat. Now this is going to depend on what time of the fall season that you're visiting Paris, so one or both of these coats is a good idea. A wool coat will be ubiquitous in the winter season, but there will still be warm and temperate days in early fall in which a trench would just be perfect. So it depends on when you're going. Number 10. Loafers or sneakers. Sneakers are not a no-no anymore, so long as they are not trainers. With a vast array of wardrobe sneakers to choose from at varying price points, find a color, white is popular, but it need not be the only neutral choice, that works best with the other items you have brought with you, and save your feet some pains and strains as you make your way to all those fantastic sites during the day. Loafers, on the other hand, can be quite comfortable as well and are perfect on those mild fall days in which letting your ankles meet the fresh air won't chill you at all. So that's number 10, loafers or sneakers. Number 11 is a crossbody bag. Since you'll be walking quite a bit, even if it is simply to hop on the metro or hail a cab, having a handbag that is secure, yet a decent size without being overwhelming is a good idea. While pickpocketers are certainly something to be aware of, be sure to check out my post on how to navigate the metro system, but pickpocketers are everywhere, so not just the metro. I'll provide a link on the show notes. A crossbody bag will help you keep your purse secure, and choosing a bag that is just large enough for what you need is perfect for walking about as well as traveling to and from Paris. And since you're in France, why not choose a French tote or a French bag? Polene, Polene's Numero Un or Numero Un Mini is a beautiful classic choice. It's a bit of an investment, but it's not even close to the investment that you would have to pay for the name brands. This is a family-owned business that I spotlighted 2 months ago, or last month, I think, in October. And currently I am saving up for one of my own. So a crossbody bag is something to bring with you for sure. Number 12, a long sleeve blouse. Choosing a blouse in a print is always a simple way to make a statement with the other neutral items in your wardrobe. Or a solid that pairs with at least 2 bottoms in your suitcase is a way to offer versatility for both day and evening. So pack that beautiful blouse that you love wearing and works well with 2 items for your bottoms. Number 13, last but not least, I'm assuming that if you're going to Paris, and not everyone does this, but I think there's probably 1 or 2 occasions where you're going to want to dress up and have a lovely evening out. There are so many ways we can dress up. So wearing beautiful, fantastic pants with your ankle boots, a fantastic blouse with that, put on your trench, you look great. But maybe you want to wear a dress. So summertime, it makes sense, pack a lot of dresses. But I would encourage you to pack a dress or 2 as well for fall. While your wardrobe will be dependent upon your itinerary and what you will be visiting and how you best prefer to enjoy the city, pack 1 or 2 dresses. Midi length is quite popular right now and has been for a long time, and it's because it's flattering. It works with a lot of different figures and for a lot of different ages. Depending upon how you most feel comfortable dressing up, make sure you have at least 1 nice evening outfit. If that is a dress, pack the dress that raises your confidence meter or at least 2 notches. For a day, choose a dress that allows you to move, sit, stand, and still look wonderful. So that's number 13, our final item in our capsule seasonal style wardrobe for Paris in the fall. Now, no matter what time of year it is, wearing what makes you feel your best is the goal. So much so that you can forget about your clothes and just enjoy being in Paris. And this is possible when the wardrobe is thoughtfully compiled. These items should keep you warm, that we listed today, but also effortlessly chic. Finish the outfit with a scarf and a curious heart and mind, and you will look absolutely stunning. Now, I've also included a couple of different episodes. The one that I referenced earlier, the Autumn in Britain, Timeless Seasonal Style, that was episode 263 is on here. But I've also included a few other French-inspired episodes and posts. So if you want to learn a few more French beauty secrets that are worth the investment, or 10 style and beauty lessons from the French, which was episode 196, be sure to stop by. Also, there are so many French-inspired posts and podcast episodes, and I provided links to where you can find them in the archives. And to access the entire list on the blog, visit thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast 267. Now, I'll be right back with this week's Petit Plaisir. This week's Petit Plaisir is The Story of French by Jean-Benoit Nadeau and Julie Barlow, a couple that has spent much time in Paris and also has written many other French-inspired books or French lifestyle books and French culture books that I have devoured and shared on the blog. But this one was one of their first, and they're award-winning contributors that come from Canada, and you may remember the book titled 60 Million Frenchmen Can't Be Wrong. The one that I most recently read by them was The Bonjour Effect, and that was released in 2016, so not that long ago. I highly recommend that one too. But what I love about this book is that, and I'm not done with it yet, so I'm about halfway through it, but I thought I'd recommend it to you because I think it pairs perfectly with someone who's going to travel to France, and it gives you a deeper understanding of the history of where the language came from. So just to start you off very generically and basically, and I think this is just impressive, and I actually, being a language teacher, I will share this with my students when we talk about where words come from. Nearly half of the commonly used words in English, for example, chase, catch, surf, challenge, and staunch, are of French origin. And I think that's the fun part for me, is to look at all these different words that we use on a regular basis and to know where they came from and why they became what they became. And there's so many other words as well, such as war and, oh my gosh, I had a list here a second ago. But all these words that are used in common casual conversation that had slightly different spellings in the French culture, but now have found a place in the English vernacular, which I find interesting. Now, this is a hefty book. It's over 400 pages. But if you're wanting to learn more about the French culture, specifically the language, I highly recommend it. It's fascinating, and being someone who loves history as well, if you're like that, if you're like me, you're going to enjoy it. So the book is simply called The Story of French, and it was written over 10 years ago in 2003, but I'll provide a link to the book on the show notes, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast 267. But now I'd like to take a moment to thank a handful of listeners who have taken the time to write a review for the podcast. This first one comes from Ireland, and it's titled The Most Expected Podcast, 5 stars. I've been reading your blog for a while now, and I can't thank you enough for doing a podcast as well. I've been looking for a similar podcast that aligns with the values that you write about, but there's none, and that's why you make this so great. Listening to your episodes while commuting to work is just the perfect way to start the day and sets the mood for a sophisticate one. Please keep them coming. Love, Irene. Thank you, Irene, for bringing me along on your commute, and I hope to continue to make and share with you even more enjoyable episodes. This next one comes from France, and they titled it Practical Inspiration, 4 stars, a wonderful listen for day-to-day inspiration for living a lush life. Shannon's direct style is quite enjoyable, and her practical advice is always right on target. A very refreshing break to my day when I listen. Thank you so much for sharing what you love about this podcast and also bringing the podcast along when you take a break. That is quite the compliment. If you too are enjoying the podcast, I encourage you to leave a review and share specifically what you enjoy, or simply give a ranking if that's all the time you have, which I completely understand. Your time is greatly appreciated, and I thank you for your patience as we finally have this week's new episode available. Now, before I wrap up, I have some very exciting news. The audio version of the Simply Luxurious Life second book, which was released last fall, is finally available on Audible, Amazon, iBooks, or wherever audiobooks are available. I just learned of this last Friday and I was ecstatic because I had planned on bringing it to you last year when the book was released, but because of some technical issues after having taped half of the book nearly and my external drive dying on me, I told myself, wait till next summer, redo it, make sure it's done well. And well, it is finally available. Also, if you are an ad-free subscriber to the blog, there's an exclusive opportunity for a free book, a free audiobook. Email me if you're interested. I still have some of those promo codes available for UK listeners if you're interested in. And if you love the audiobook or enjoy the audiobook, please share a review, as the reviews on Amazon for the paperback and ebook don't transfer to the Audible version on Audible. So your words would be greatly appreciated. I'm actually going to be pulling a handful of these reviews for the audio version and putting them on the blog at the end of the year. So maybe your review will appear on the blog permanently. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week on the podcast or on the blog if you stop by in between. Bonne journée! Thank you for tuning in to the Simple Sophisticate podcast, where intelligent living is paired with signature style. For more ideas and inspiration throughout the week, visit the blog, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com, or pick up my new book, Living the Simply Luxurious Life, Making Your Everydays Extraordinary and Discovering Your Best Self. You can also pick up my first book, Choosing the Simply Luxurious Life, A Modern Woman's Guide, which is available now in paperback, ebook, and audio versions on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes, or wherever books are sold. To stay caught up on the most recent episodes of the podcast, blog posts, my new cooking show, and receive exclusive news as well as an extra dose of inspiration to jumpstart your weekend, subscribe to the Simply Luxurious Life's weekly newsletter, which arrives in your inbox each Friday to enjoy with a hot cup of tea or a morning cup of coffee. Until next Monday, I'm your host, Shannon Ables. Bonne journée!